Hello. So I believe that I am live. I want to basically go through kind of some SolidWorks with you. I hope that it's of some interest. So basically, I'd like to get people signed in really, and we can go from there really as to what they want to see. So yeah, just bear with me as you can see the kind of setup, just getting that setup right as well. Okay, so SolidWorks is an amazing program really. It's designed around kind of 3D, designed around 3D kind of modelling. It's powerful for the fact that you can create a lot of elements for either design or kind of production or manufacture, or you can use it just as a kind of low level kind of thing for just doing kind of like product rendering and product modelling. I use it in work, and yeah, it's good. It can save time. We use it for the manufacturing element. So yeah, it does work very, very well. Okay, so we've got the first question. When is the tab and slot function going Dirk for Weldments? Not 100% sure what you mean there. Sorry, Glenn. Could get some clarification on that. If you want to go over the tab and slot function, we can do that if you wish. But it'd be good just to get a bit of a grasp on on what you mean there. Oh, right, okay, so when is it going to work for the tab and slot function? I don't actually think SolidWorks has a tab and slot feature. I don't actually think it does. I'm just trying to think. I think one of the best ways of doing it would be to create the kind of sketch of the slots that you use. So if you have kind of standard ones, and then almost put them in the kind of design library, so then you can drag them in every time instead of sketching them. That's the only quick thing I can possibly think of. In fact, I'm 90% sure that that's got to be the case. I think you've got to create them as a sketch and save them in the design library. In fact, it is, yeah. Okay, so it's 2018 that will have that feature, I believe. Sorry, I'm just very quickly. The new 28 has the function, but now it only works in sheet metal. Right, okay. Yeah, so I don't think it does work in the 2017 version. I think it's only in the sorry, I'm reading about this, so that's why it's a little bit juddery as I'm just trying to read up on it. Library feature will save lots of time. Unfortunately, those features don't work in assembly, so I've created some sketch and added them to the library. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you can create sketch blocks, and you can create kind of repetitive sketches and use them again and again. So you're not having to do it all the time. So let's quickly see if there's a kind of quick workaround. Insert features, no sheet metal. Yeah, there isn't actually in 2017. It's a good point. I do use sheet metal, but not very often. even though I actually work at a steel manufacturer's, I've always been kind of told to use the extrudes instead of the base flanges, for various reasons, which I'm sure I'll go into at some point. Okay, so yeah, that's a fairly good point there, Glenn. Sorry, I can't really do much there to help you. I'm just trying to think what I can really do. One of the quick things I did see was how to create a circular pattern on like a curved piece of sheet steel. So if you go on, say, right plane and create a 3-point arc, and then create this here. Let's make that midpoint and make that horizontal. And we can work on the rad of this, so call it, say, 1 meter rad. That's going to be pretty big, 750, say. Right, okay. We can do sheet metal. So you've got a curve there, and this is something that I learned a couple of days back, where I had an issue. So basically, I wanted to create a perforated steel sheet on this curve, but couldn't, basically. So I was told that using sheet metal, you can unfold sheet metal. So you select the line here, collect all bends, click OK, and then you can see that it flattens it out there. Then we can click on that face, sketch, and then to reduce the kind of computer performance, I'm just going to do a slot there, but you can imagine that's perforated steel. Make that, say, 6mm. Let's tidy this up a little bit. Go vertical. Let's constrain, make that horizontal, and then say that that is 30mm from the edge, like so. And then the overall length of this is 900, say. And we can extrude cut this, length to thickness, and then we can linear pattern this slot cut down. Features, click on that, and then say, call it 10mm, or even increase that up to, say, 15mm. Let's see how many times that goes down. It's only rough, this. There we go. So you'd order this in as say, the slotted sheet here, and then when that is ordered in, you need to roll it. So all you want to do to show that is then fold, nose the edge, collect the bends, click OK, and then it will force that curved cut all the way on that piece of sheet steel, which is really good if you're doing a kind of decorative fascia, or if you want to basically curve, put a curve in kind of like perforated steel. It's one of the better ways of doing it. Hopefully that is of some interest. But yeah, using the fold and unfold tools is actually really handy, because then you can just suppress that, edit it in its sheet state, almost in its flattened state, without flattening it. Because if you do flatten it, so if we bring this forward, and then you can't flatten it, because because it's not it's one piece, so it's not the best way of doing it or going around it. So yeah, hopefully that's of some interest there. So yeah, if you're watching me live on Solidworks. Hopefully, if you have any questions or anything, we can go over any points that you have or any questions you'd like asking. We've had Glenn asking about the tab and slot, which is going to be the 2018 version, but isn't in the 2017 version. But we can have a bit of a workaround in terms of that. In terms of SolidWorks and what it's offering for 2018, there's quite a few new benefits which are going to be, I think, quite good. I haven't spent much time on it, but I believe that the user experience is getting big improvements. Yeah, the tab and slot is going to be quite a big update. There's improved project and process management, but yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of it. I didn't actually go to the upgrade event as I was busy, unfortunately. But let's have a quick look at the new PDF, see what they're crowing on about. So there's mouse gesture enhancements, touch-based interactions, there's additional file format support, which is good. There's offloaded rendering, which is good. Parts and features creating a boundary box. Okay, so boundary box, that'd actually be quite good for working out volume, especially as we ship a couple of items. So that would work out quite well. You'd be able to know what you would need to, what kind of size box you would need to ship. Okay, so yeah, if there's any more kind of questions, or if anyone else has anything they would like to ask, obviously feel free to drop me a comment or drop me a line, and I'll do my best to help you. I'm going to kind of go over weldments. So weldments are basically it's a sketch that is kind of driven along a sketch. Sorry, it's a sketch profile driven along a kind of sketch or a kind of design intent. Just bear with me 2 seconds, and I shall get my notes. So yeah, there's a video that I did a couple of days ago, and it's basically using the functionality of a weldment to create a structure. So there's multiple bodies, but it's all in one part, which is really good if you want to create a kind of cut list, etc. And yeah, kind of groups them together as you make them. Let's have a quick look at something we can do. So yeah, I'm going to briefly kind of show you how to do bookcase, say, using weldments. So first of all, to activate it, you might need to right-click up top and activate weldments if it's not already activated. Oh. And then when that's done, structural map will grayed out because you don't actually have any sketches available to click on. So first off, we will create the sketch. So the front plane, we're going to do a sketch there, and we're going to do corner rectangle, and we're going to make our wardrobe. We're going to make it 1200 wide, and we're going to make it 1800 high. We're going to make this point midpoint to there, so it's fully constrained. Okay, and then we're going to do a 3D sketch. We're going to do line coming out, make sure it's going the right way, and we're going to make this 600. Again. So basically we've got a kind of like fork there, or an L shape, but in 3D. This is just going to be the rough basis of our model. I kind of like sketching things out prior to modelling it, so I kind of get a bit of a feel for it and a bit of a basis of what it's going to look like. So we'll go on structural member, go on timber, and then size. We're going to make it from this profile here, 140 by 25, and then I'm going to locate that profile there, click OK, and then I'm going to linear pattern this along. So we've done it the width, and then it doesn't need to be 48 of them, it only needs to be 9. You can see that we've gone over the size of it, but it's only a rough kind of indication of just a rough indication of what it will be. And then I'm going to create on this face here, but I'm going to select this line, convert that so that we've got this point here, exit that, Weldments, structural member, same timber profile again, select that, then again locate profile, click that point, and then I'm going to spin it 90 degrees, so it's there like so, and then feature, linear pattern, bodies, this one, and I'm going to do this one 5. Okay, so we've got kind of overview there. Then we're going to mirror it, mirror in the right plane, bodies, select those 5 bodies there. Of course, that's not how you do it, because we've got the weldments there, so I need to find the midpoint, so edit the feature. It's not going to be the right plane at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so it's going to be the midpoint on here, so I'm going to have to use the selection filter. So hide shades. Where is the selection filter? Toolbars, of course it is. What I'm doing, there we go, selection filter, select midpoint, and then I can, in fact it's not going to allow me to do a midpoint, is it? Of course not. Plane, midpoint, then sketch, so it's on that there we go, so plane 3 is going to be our mirror point, mirror, plane 3, bodies, select these on the side here, and there we go, delete that existing mirror, so we've got kind of back and 2 sides there, and then I'm going to click on the top here, and then select this line here, convert the entity, pull that sketch, click on that endpoint, click on that face there. Why isn't it allowing me? Okay, coincident, and then we can zoom this out, spin this round to here, and then click on that. I wonder if it's trying to pick up on that plane. No, it's not. I thought it would have been able to have made it on the face, but clearly not. Anyway, we can make that coincident. And then click on Weldments again after exiting the sketch. Click on that. click on that line, locate the profile again, and then select the bottom left so it sits on the top. Okay, happy with that. Linear pattern, select that edge, select that body, and we've got our top there. So we've got a nice little kind of hut, which is perfect. That's all we want to see. Now we need to do some shelves. So I'm going to do 3D sketch and draw the line going that way, and then make that line onto that plane, and then I'm going to do this at 575, make that point coincident with that inside edge of that rad or of that piece of timber, and then make this onto that plane there, like so. Leave that, and then show the sketches. I've got a little shortcut to hide and show sketches. Weldments, I'm going to use a smaller timber, I'm going to use 2x2, so there we go, 2x2 timber, select that, and then locate the profile, top left, so we can see that it sits in there perfectly, and then I'm going to linear pattern that up, and I'm going to linear pattern that at 600. Select the body. There we go. Oh, what's it doing? Direction 2. No. Edge. Yes. Body. Oh. There we go. If I do it a bit clever, then do 612. Okay. So now by creating that, I've almost created this ledge for this top piece to also screw into that there. I think that might be a mil gap. Let's quickly measure it. Is it mil gap? Yeah. Okay. So if you really want to be precise, you can then edit that linear pattern and add 0.5 mil. So it sits on it there. So we've got that there. So you can see that we've got our battens in. Going to mirror these. Click on the right plane. Click on bodies. There we go. I've done the right plane again instead of plane 3. That's a good point. If you actually got odd pieces there, try and make it, or you just need to model it on the right planes or on the plane so you can use the mirrors. The way I've done it is actually quite bad practice. It's a bit inefficient because I've had to create another plane. It's another step and just creates some confusion or errors basically. So we've got that there, which is all good. Now I already know that there's going to be a slight design issue with this, because when I go to put the shelves in on here, they're going to overhang the front because of the distances, but I just want to show you how to very quickly create weldments. So on that plane I'm going to select that sketch, go to that point there. I think this is on the mid plane. Ideally I would like it on that edge, and then close sketch, weldments, so then yellow timber, 140, it's about 25, click on that, locate the profile, go there, and then we've got our first kind of cross shelf, and I'm going to linear pattern that, and then do the bodies in. You need to at the distance, go back, and then we're going to fit in there, and then linear pattern again, even. You can then scroll, click on that, make sure it's going down, bodies, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it was 612.5, and we only need to do it so there. There we go. So very crudely, we've got a kind of weldment bookcase. I'm missing this bit here. Click on that mirror, click OK, and then select that body. There we go. So there we go. So we've got a weldment bookcase. Very crude, quick effort. There's a bit of a gap there. That's only because I haven't properly worked it out in terms of all the dimensions, etc. But that is a very brief introduction to the weldments and what you can do. Now this is really good because what you can then do is then bring this into a drawing. If we've got the drawing there, let's go A3. This is just a bog standard template. You can, it needs to save, of course. Bookcase, save it on the desktop. Model view, bookcase. Make that the isometric view. You can then go annotation, Weldment cut list, click on that view, click OK, and then it'll tell you how many pieces, how many lengths you need. So that's the best, or that's the ideal way of creating the model. And then if your weldments are actually created accurately, you can also have the description of the part or the component in there as well. So each time you do the cut list, every time you do the cut list, it will basically give you the piece. So it will say 2 by 2, you need 6 of them at 671. For 6x2, you need 8 of them at 1252, etc. So that's a really good way, or beneficial way, of using weldments and why you should use them. And yeah, there we go. So yeah, there we go. Little brief live stream. Hope that's of interest. And yeah, if you'd like to see more or find out more, like and subscribe to the channel. I'll also link to the video of weldments that I did the other day. Let's do a very basic table. If you want anything doing, or if you want to see anything, drop me a comment and I will create a video based on that. So yeah, if I don't hear from you soon, I'll hear from you next. Don't even know what that means. I'm just really struggling for an outro. Anyway, have a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.